And we are back. That's right. That's right. We're back. We're doing it live, baby. And I'm going to get the first color, and we're going to start coloring everything. We will shade it in a bit. But the easiest thing to do is raster layer. So these two layers are going to be here. Fun times. This is just basic here and there, you know. You get it. You get what I'm talking about. So, gotta get my keyboard. Gotta cut the snap on my keyboard. I don't know why it does that every single time. Just move that to the side. Okay. Which one is it? Alright. So let's move these over here. This is all one thing. So just turn those on. I was confused. So let's see. Bam. Oh, well. See, this is why you do this. So you can find out where all your problems are. You can go around and start fixing all your darn mistakes that you made. Which is so fun. So fun. You can start working on everything you've futzed with and fiddled around with. Start fixing it. Start just fixing it. Like these. I don't know where I did that wrong, but let's see. I'll find it. You know, I say that I always find it. Yeah, see? It's little things like that that you find, and you're surprised that you missed it the first time. Like that. I can see that immediately. Like, you can just go around your picture, and you're trying to find openings, especially in your line work, because that's how you're about to do the next step. And I'm not going to explain the next step because I just do the next step. The next step is this. Blam. 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 Oh, hot damn. So today was a day. Today wasn't awful. I met a fellow artist at work, and that was nice. She does a lot of good art. She didn't have all of her art with her, which is totally fine. She wants to write stuff, write and draw, and that's damn cool. I think that's really neat. So, I'm excited for her. And I do hope she follows her dream instead of says she's going to follow her dream and then not do it, which, you know, lots of artists have done that. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep working. You got to keep hustling. Even when it's difficult, even when it kind of sucks. Like tonight. I didn't feel like streaming, but it's like work. You got to keep doing it. You can't not do it. I could do what other artists do, but I'm not even an affiliate yet. I can't take a night off. It's precious time wasted. And I'm just slightly tired. Just slightly tired. Maybe when I make affiliate, that's when I'll take a break. That's when I'll slow it down a bit. Like, that's when I'll actually, like, be like, oh yeah, Goat needs to take a break. Sleepy Goat needs to take a break. Oh man. Ugh. I love it that I have multiple people during work that I've met that I'm like, oh yeah, I do art, I do all this stuff, and they're like, yeah, man, I'll subscribe to you, and then they don't, and I'm like, why do you say that? Why did you even bring it up? I wouldn't have been mad if you were like, no, I would have. I guess it's to be not rude, but it just seems rude. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems rather rude. Personally, you know, I have done that myself. I just, you know, seems sad. You know, I always love to meet people who actually like my work. But people have said they like my work, but they could just be that being nice, or you know, they're like, "Oh man, I'll check you out and whatnot." Like the guy found my art. He didn't have. He could have done like I've done before, where it's just like, "Oh, cool, yeah, yeah, I'll go look it up later" and stuff like that. Like, I'm not telling you to go fuck yourself, but kind of telling you to go fuck yourself. Which I mean, it's not cool. I know that. By two. And go to this. And then I'm gonna drop a purple. Then I'm gonna drop a purple. A nice purple. That is not the shade. That's a light enough purple that if I shaded it, and go back to that. Yeah, a light purple. And just yeah, see, there's a lot of things that I missed. Deselect. So why is it a single color? So I don't keep selecting the background, things like that. This really does help with shading and stuff like that. So you can get rounder shading and stuff like that when you're doing work like this. I just might change the purple to a more muted purple, but I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. Bothers me enough to say something, but it doesn't really bother me to really. Yeah, I'm gonna lighten it up. Gosh darn it. That was the whole point. What are you doing? So yeah, she seems like she wants to make a book. I'm very supportive. I like people, getting their art out there. She was like, I want to make kids books, but also not really kids books, kind of like everybody books, like Adventure Time and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, I believe in you. And she was like, oh my gosh, thank you. I mean, I do. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully she gets what she wants and she'll become the artist she's always wanted to be. Oh, Diesel Act. Yeah. There's a few places that I couldn't hit, but that's okay. Right there, right there. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this. I feel good. I feel so much better about it because it looks way better. I mean, it doesn't look way better. There's pros and cons to the way you draw things like that. There's always going to be pros and cons on every little thing. So yeah, work was nice. Met an artist. She followed me on Instagram. Pretty darn cool. Finding out everybody has more followers than me. But also, I haven't really been using Instagram. I think that's fair. I didn't start using Instagram till Simon pushed me to do it, and now I'm using Instagram. I'm using my Twitter more. I'm posting all of that art that I was too afraid to do. Like, oh, do you think anybody's gonna care? The answer is some people do, some people don't. It's a crapshoot. Sometimes you think that you drew exactly what the internet wanted, and it's not what they wanted at all. And sometimes you're like, oh man, this is nothing. And then people are like, oh my gosh, really love this. But it's all a crapshoot. It's all up in the air. You never know what's going to get popular out there. And there's probably some people who follow all of this shit. Stop it. Color. And then words, and then flats, flats. Goat, you're so silly. So silly. Oh yeah, I saw it. I see it. I see it before it even started. So like this is really good for shading and stuff like that. So, and also when you select it, you can start, you can put whatever you want. So, bam. I see a few other spots. Hold up. Piece of garbage. I'm not calling anything a piece of garbage. I'm just kind of saying that. Maybe I'm calling myself that, but I'm not. I'm not garbage. I just need to get myself out there and I'll get myself out there. It takes time. You don't get popular overnight. Some people do, and it's very weird. They explode on the internet. And, those people, you know, hats off to them, but also not hats off to them. Because I want to be popular. Ugh, damn it. Well, undo. There's so many parts of this picture that I need to fix. I thought I was done. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Just means that I get to spend more time fixing a piece of work. It's my bad. Why is... I don't get that. Yeah, I don't get that. Undo. Alright. I guess I was just hitting the wrong spot over there. Ah, there it is. There it is. There. And the size needs to be a lot lower, but to hell with it. Other than that, I mean, I've shown my work on YMS, I've shown it on Simon's, and lots of people like mine. There was, at one point, one person followed me and then unfollowed. I don't know if they just went through my Twitter and was like, this guy. This guy that rarely ever posted and just started posting, this year, like just like a few, maybe a month, this month, like not even that much. I don't know what I said that may have been like, maybe they saw a follow list and they were like, because my first instinct was that, and this may be wrong, this may very much be wrong, is that they followed me so that I would follow them, and then they unfollow me. So they get a free follow because you're a really nice person, and then they don't look like they follow too many people. So they're too cool for follows and stuff like that. Some people don't do that. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. Where they're like, if I follow too many people, people will think that I just follow everybody and not the people that I follow are not cool anymore. I don't get that reasoning, but here's the thing, my brain does it too. Because there's been multiple times where I'm like, but I don't want to diminish the people that I'm following. And then it's like, well, am I diminishing the person that I'm thinking about following? Like it's very weird. It's a weird brain association that I get. Like I'm not hating on anybody that does it. And maybe that's where they were coming from. Because if it's that, I have I'm not as mad. I'm more of annoyed than mad. But I'm not mad. I'm really not mad. I'm more like, oh, okay, cool. It's good to know that you didn't actually like my art. But like maybe see, that's the cynical side. It might just be where dumb human brain make dumb a human association. And that literally might just be it. Where it's just brain be dumb. They meant nothing by it. And they just were like, oh, I don't want to follow too many people. I want them to think people I follow are reasonable and cool. Where people that I follow don't care about that and just follow whoever the fuck they like. But I also understand that. I also understand that as a starting creator. Like I'm not a awful jackass who's like, I can't believe it. This guy's just awful. It's more of like, oh, okay, sad. I would have liked another follower, but somebody else did. Somebody else followed me, and I also got followers on my Twitter, my Instagram as well. So I can't be mad. I can't be mad. That's such a Alabama thing, though. You just can't be mad. It's like, yeah, you can. You can be mad at things. You can definitely be mad at things. Don't sell yourself short. But in all honesty, I also understand the trend of wanting to be cool. Wanting to be like, oh yeah, all of these people that I follow, they're real big artists. They're so cool, and they also follow me. Like just because Simon follows me or all these other great artists follow me doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a great artist. It just means that they recognize and like my art. Good job. It doesn't mean I'm a great artist. Hell, I like Adventure Time, but I don't think that's the height of art. I think that's just, art. I didn't say bad, but it's definitely not gonna be on my wall. But also, I don't put things on my wall to begin with. That's just me. I'm that kind of person, though. So he has silver. So what is silver? Let's get some silver in there. And let's move this to the side so I can see more of it. So that's metallic. So silver is it's way different, but it's a close enough color to it. So it's around here. That's where silver is. I know this because I had a silver dragon OC when I was younger. Because I'm that level of person. I don't know. People might not think it's cringe. No, no, no. No, no, no. Undo that. I know that that's not silver. But, like, I don't know. But I went to Adams from YMS, put my art, people liked it, put it in, what is it? What is that? What is that memer and streamer called? What is his name? Yai, Jax Films. Put it in his stuff, and they all love my work. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I don't know. I gotta get over that I don't suck. I gotta get over this, and it's gonna take me time. It's not gonna be in a day. Hell, it's not even probably gonna be in a year. But I keep, like, I've won contests. I've made like major, like, I would say content creators cry from the work I've done. And I keep selling myself short, and that's not the color that I see. That's a very greenish color. I don't. Yeah. Okay. That's way better. That's way better. But, like, when Simon said my art was good, like this and all that, it just, and I don't know where it comes from, and I hate that it's there. Because there's so many artists that I'm like, you have confidence for no goddamn reason. There is no good reason why you have confidence. And then there's artists that are just like, oh yeah, no, they're like amazing, and yet there's no confidence. And I guess it's just maybe how they were raised. You know? I don't know. Maybe it's the environment they were raised in. You know what I mean? I really didn't want to line this. I know what it is. And I don't want to line it. I'll just fake it till I make it. But no. Ugh. But yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm very much out of topics to talk about. Um, hmm. I mean, the RE8 demo looks good, uh, but I guess I could talk about, like, what I've seen so far of RE8, of Rate, but I mean, I think that's boring. That 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 oh god, I'm gonna go insane from stuff like that. Oh yeah, I still have commercials. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of them. Oh my god. And I'm just great. Awesome. Goody. Goody, goody gumdrops. So yeah, I guess, like, it's a good day. Not Customers weren't bad. I was happy. could I talk about? I could talk about working on my comic, which I need to write. I think I'm going to write on stream because I need to get it done. I think tomorrow night, if Inquisitor Price is still too tired because he's switching over from day shift to night shift again, I'll be fine. I'm not going to be mad. That'll be perfect time to draw and write because I still have shit to do. I was also looking at perspective. Looking at how perspective works and two-point perspective and how that works. I need to do a few more. I need to watch a few more videos on two-point perspective. Because like it makes sense in my brain, but also it kind of I still need a little bit more. Cuz two-point perspective, I know one-point perspective, which is using the horizon line, but two-point perspective seems like it's using creating a grid and being able to use that grid as an easy way. And it looks like it just makes things easier to put on your picture and drawing in perspective and stuff like that. And it just bringing your art to the next level, because that's next level stuff. Because I can draw regularly, but I need to be able to draw perspective. Because my comic is definitely going to have a lot of perspective. The eyes are going to be black. So my comic is going to have a lot of perspective, forced perspective, a lot of ant views and a few other things, and I need to be able to draw buildings and other things like that quickly, and be able to draw any angle of those buildings. Now, I don't know if there's any 3D picture stuff. Like if there's any 3D like picture things or anything like that. So let's hope there is. So yeah, forced perspective, two-point perspective. I've been learning about that. I already knew a bit of two-point perspective, but like how to draw a car, vehicle, how to make your environments look better, and using perspective for it. So to make your environments feel like people live there and stuff like that. You make perspective. Oh no. My nose is draining. Oh, God. So, yeah, I'm trying to get better. I'm going to try to get better at perspective. Probably want to do a few lessons on stream. That would be a fun stream. I guess. I don't know. Like just watching me learn how to draw perspective better and stuff like that. Like it's as fun as you can make it. I mean, I hope people enjoy it. I don't want them to just watch our stream and just be like, wow, I didn't get jack diddly shit from this. Not even entertainment. That's what I was going for. So, like, let's see. Boop, boop, boop. So, like, it has a white of yellow. Or would it be a white blue? Let's try a white blue. Just in case. Just in case that matters at all. You select. This is why you do this. So you can be all willy-nilly with your art. See, look at that. Undo. Yeah. Good morning, Wiggle. How you been? Having too much fun? You about to go to your lesson? Just coming in to say, hey, what's going on? If so, I hope your lesson goes well. All right. Well, you learn as much as you can. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's just an inquisitor. Remember to buy the Emperor's Light to follow all the rules. The Emperor of Man shall shine upon you. But one of these days, you should come in when you don't, hopefully, when you don't have a lesson, and stay for a little bit longer. Because you need to learn. But you also need to not work so much. Ugh. I know. We all hope so. So. Let's get these ridge lines. And yes, this is the same. This is my drawing, but without. It's a lineless drawing, but it looked bad. So don't worry about it. Man. Okay. All right. Undo. I knew I did something wrong. Edit, undo. Bam. Bam. And then expand. Mm. Yes. So that I can get ready for my comic, I need to learn more perspective. So, like, perspective drawing and stuff like that. So, like, environments will turn from pretty good to, oh my gosh, I can't believe, because I do not have a background artist. I would love a background artist. That would be incredible if I found a background artist. But in all honesty, I don't want a background. Like, it's not to be a dick to people that actually, like, that's their whole thing, is that they're background artist. Like, I think that that's real cool that you have that drive to draw very specific things. Like, I have no problem with that, but like, oh, I mean, have you ever tried perspective? It's not it's not that easy, but it's not that hard. Like, it's kind of this weird thing of like, it's kind of all around. So like, perspective can be used in normal art and actually can turn like flat pieces into something more. So like, perspective can turn like a really, so like, perspective go to, if you ever have time, go to David Finch on YouTube. He'll explain perspective way better than I can. But the long and short of it is that perspective is just using the horizon line to your advantage and turning like basic pictures from your flat 2D picture into a 3D image, turning like something like that's barely even traced and without shadow into something that can actually be like, oh my gosh, be like, it can really bring people into a fictional world or something like that. So like, comic books do it, other things do it, of like perspective, but there's many different types of like how people do it, and there's no wrong way of doing comic books. But for like high detail and stuff like that, it's gonna take, it takes a lot. It's not easy. So I mean, perspective. So like, this picture could be even better if I use perspective to create the character, but I'm not going to do that because I've already drawn him twice. I'm not doing that. So like, a character that is looking flat can look three-dimensional with 2D lines, is what perspective can do. So it can turn like real basic stuff into incredible pieces. I don't have an example. I wish I did. Um, but like, perspective can turn things that are normally like. I mean, I think I've described it basically well enough. And it's very difficult. But once you get the hang of it, just like riding a bicycle or something like that, once you get the hang of perspective, you'll be using it for everything. So like, you can do freehand perspective, which is basically putting down a grid, basically a grid of the horizon line. Okay, so like, putting down a horizon line. So let me give an example. it's real basic. Let me give an example. Let me deselect and let me make a new layer. So let me make a new layer, and this will be pretty simple. I'm going to put it up here so it's out of the way. And let's just do this. So like a horizon, all you need is a horizon line. As you can clearly tell, I could literally just use this tool. And there's two, I think there's more than that. There's like 3 or 4 different types of perspective. So like what you're doing is you're using a point. You're using a point and then you're making lines going from that point. So like kind of like this. So you're using that, and what you're doing is everything on this line now follows this line. These lines that use perspective. And then a 2-point perspective is where another point goes over here and you do the exact same thing. And I know this isn't the best. And then last, but certainly not least, the third way to put into it, you put horizontal lines. And what this does is it creates a grid for you so that you can give weight. You're basically creating a small grid for yourself. So you're following, like, this is what up is. Basically, you're telling your brain that this is going up. And in this, you can create, like, boxes and stuff like that. And then there's the 90-degree angle. So the fourth one is a 90-degree angle going through everything. So, like, I know that this looks completely insane, but the 90-degree angle, so this is supposed to be straight up, but the 90-degree angle shows that in a perspective line, it's supposed to, that up is not always directly up because there's bends. Not every object is a straight line. So what you're doing is you're trying to find out where that straight line is and where it isn't. So major comic book creators use this way to create circles, wheels, and certain stuff like that, and create like a sidewalk or something like that. So it's basically 2-point perspective. And why there's 2-point perspective instead of 1-point perspective is that what you need is a grid to tell you where everything is. So that you can figure out, like, oh, this is shortening. This is not only shortening this way, it's also shortening this way, and how it connects all together. So that's basically a basics on perspective. I mean, it's not the best explanation, but that's basically how it's in my brain. So like 2-point perspective with lines going through, and then the 90-degree horizontal lines are to express like And 90 degrees because 90 degrees is like this. So you're changing up a 90 degree. So there's, yeah, yeah. I mean, basic perspective. This is used in almost every comic book, almost every like major drawing ever created, like painting and whatnot, and stuff like that. So, like, if you already know perspective, you're ahead of the game, way above most artists. So, like, yeah, basically what you're doing is like you don't have to use this all the time, but it helps you realize a 3D space cuz your brain is not perfect. Your brain makes mistakes. Your brain isn't going to perfectly figure out where a horse is on a road or like your computer monitor in, correctly put in a three-dimensional space. So like this is what professionals use. So like the 90 degree is something like that. As far as I've seen, that's what David Finch calls it. Because it's definitely, it doesn't feel like a 90-degree angle, but I guess it is a 90-degree angle. I think it's a 90-degree angle to this line. So like there's always a 90 degree. Okay, no, I'm figuring I'm while I'm literally telling you about it, I figured out what I'm talking about again. So like the 90-degree angle is for each of these lines. So like 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle, like, and why it's a 90-degree angle is because of how shortening and foreshortening works and stuff like that. So like that, and it goes with each grid and stuff like that. I think that makes sense. That's why you also need a ruler. Remember to buy a ruler, and you're gonna keep that shit forever and never throw it away. It's your best buddy. And I really thought that this grid would be harder. It's real easy to make one of these grids. Um, you're welcome. You're welcome, Wiggle. I don't know what I don't know what class or lessons you're in. So I'm glad that I can teach you a little bit of something. Oh, well, good. So you can listen in on some of my crazy ramblings then. Ugh. Yeah, so perspective is essentially that. So like there's 1 point perspective, 2 point perspective, three three line perspective, and then there's the fourth, and I know that there's a fifth one. And I think it's the 90 degree of the other line. But I'm just using the 90 degree of that. So like when you're making wheels and hubs and stuff like that, when you're making circles, like it's supposed to help you out to make circles because technically following this line will not actually get you what you need. It's following this line, the 90 degree, that'll actually help you to make a circle within a 3D environment. So like already, yeah, see? So like making a wheel in a 3D environment. So like I'm not real good on perspective yet, and it's going to take me a while to fully understand how to use perspective and stuff like that to actually make like buildings, like turning something like this, like old fancy building into something that uses perspective and put something like this into a perspective drawing or something like that. And put it into something like this. And remember to use the perspective like that. So like already turning so, and if you have time you could do this and get out a piece of paper and do this in your studies, you know, something like this, turning like already this feels good. This feels real good. And if you don't have a ruler, you could always try the free-handed. If you don't feel confident enough, you could always use your book to help you. And already with perspective in mind, it already looks way better. So like turning like yeah. And also if you want, you can always send me. Yeah, do it. Do it. You've got time. But if you ever have any trouble or anything like that, you could always send me like some of your work and be like, "Hey, what do you think?" You got me on Instagram. So like something like this. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I understand how it is to be a beginning artist and stuff like that. And I think that you're pretty darn good. Uh, what do I think of your last drawing? What do I? Oh, hold up, hold up. Let's just bring it up, Wiggle. Let's just bring it up. Trigun? Let's see. Oh, okay, all right. Let's look at it. Let's give it a look-see-loo. All right. Already, I see a very good idea of Vash the Stampede. I already see you could always use, I would say, ruler is your favorite friend, especially even in digital art. The ruler tool in the digital art can vastly improve Vash's gun. Um, Remember to follow the steps of like how big his gun is relative to his face and stuff like that. His glasses are just fine. His nose is just fine. Like there's a few improvements that you can make with your shading, but other than that, I think it's good. Don't forget your second hair piece. There's a few places where you kind of missed the shading, but it definitely looks real good. I love what you did with the outer rim. It looks amazing. Um, and yeah, I think that so far I think it looks very good. I don't know if you've drawn Vash before, but it definitely looks very good. Also, remember how his chin goes. I would say I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more rounder, but if that's what you got off the reference pic, I'm not going to hate you on it. He's a very weird artist to begin with. So I think it looks really good. Um, you're really improving quickly. So keep it up with those fan drawings. You'd be surprised. You know, you'd learn so much from doing your fan drawings. You'll learn a lot from doing your fan drawings because that's what I did when I was younger. I learned so much from my fan drawings. I learned like definitely like how a character looks, how they'll look better and stuff like that with with lighting and shading and how all of that works is because I followed what other artists were doing. And it helps you improve dramatically. You'll be very surprised. So yeah, that is the basics of perspective. So as far as I know, if you ever want to learn more about perspective, I say, I mean, I'm also relearning a lot of this myself. So just remember to follow the rules and examples. Oh man, that is the dream. That is always the dream is to draw, is to have time to draw and stuff like that. So like things like this are going to be, I mean, if you already learned this when you start off, you're going to blow past. Like if you go from school to something else, you're going to people are just going to be like, "Whoa." So it's going to turn like basic. This is definitely a more fantasy house style, but it's going to turn like this into something that people can look at and be like, "Whoa, is that Wiggle?" Whoa. Did Wiggle? Have you seen Wiggle's art? They're just, they're just gosh darn, they're just so gosh darn good. But yeah. So that's the basics. So go forth and draw. Keep drawing. A drawing a day fixes a lot of your problems. So let's get back. Let's get back. All right. Where was I? I'm trying to think of where I was before I tried to start explaining like this. Okay. Right. That's right. That's right. I know what I was doing. I know what I was doing. Don't worry, Wiggle. I figured it out. I had old man brain for for a second. I had brain. You were doing the skull, I think. I think the skull is basically done. So the skulls. So that skull's done right now, because I will get back to it with lighting and whatnot. So I'm gonna color his armor black. So I'm gonna grab that. So yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that spider skull came out great. Even though it's a bit sketchy, I like it. I like it. I think I did good. I think I did good. Hmm. I got the belt a little bit. Oh well. You know what? It is great and scary, as most spiders are. Where are you? Bam. It's great and scary. So, this is Warhammer 40K. I don't know if you know about 40K, Warhammer 40K. My friend absolutely loves the series, and he wanted basically an Inquisitor character for him for his Twitch, and I was like, okay, all right, cool. Yeah. And 40K is, I don't know if you know it, if you don't know it, I'll still explain it to you. 40K is a real dark series. It's not kind. It is, everyone is basically should not be alive, and yet they still live on. The gods are all awful. Uh, the Emperor of Man is basically a corpse on a seat that is feeding off of psychic energy to stay in his permanent resting spot. And humans are so mutated that literally us a heartbeat is confusing to a lot of people. So it's pretty fucked up. It's a pretty fucked up series. It's pretty messed up. Is a better word to use. Um, and it's a great tabletop game. It's expensive. It's real expensive to get into. If you've got a bunch of cash to drop into it, be my guest. But it's a modeling. It's where you buy little miniatures that are very small, and you glue them together, and then you paint them. And I still need to paint them. So I'll probably do a one of these days. I'm gonna do a stream where I'm just gonna paint, and that's it. Just gonna have a paint session, and we're I can explain the whole series because I've got my the series favorites, which are the orcs, which are fun-loving guys that are definitely horrifying and nightmare fuel. The orcs in that series are not like Tolkien orcs at all. They're diesel mud and a lot of guns. But they're fun and exciting, and I love them. They're they're a good bunch of antagonists that I don't mind being the antagonist for. The dwarves are not in that series. The dwarves are actually in the Warhammer Fantasy. So there's two different Warhammers. There's Warhammer 40K and Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is the newest version of Warhammer Fantasy. And in that series, there are dwarves, which I think they're called Duragar in that series, or yeah, they're called Duragar in the Warhammer Fantasy series, and they're a fun bunch. They've got balloons, and they have balloon technology. They have airships and war airships, and they're a fun-loving group that works with humans and elves to defeat all other destructive chaos forces. So they've got, if you look at them, there is balloon. They have dirigible armor, which is literally flying dwarves. It's silly. It's fun. And if you wanted to ever get into a series, that is definitely that it's not a bad pick, especially for fantasy as well, because it's got all the regular fantasy elements. It just doesn't have a furry race. That it's not evil. I think technically the Beastmen are not evil, but they are on the Chaos Army side. So I'm not sure what to tell you on that one. If you have a dungeon master that is cool with them being a little bit nicer and okay with them coming in to town, totally, but don't expect it. But I have Skaven, which are rat creatures, and that's my fantasy army. My roommate has he has dwarves. So they're on the Sigmar side, and my Skaven are on the Chaos side. And the Chaos is just really about ruining the rest of the world for everybody else. Just filling it with the end is nigh and stuff like that. They're pretty bad. But I don't mind being the bad guy. I'm fine with it. I don't mind playing the bad guy. Because somebody has to. And I actually think their models are pretty cute. Some of their models are nightmare fuel. Uh, and then there's others that I'm just like, oh, it's just a cute little ratto. Just an angry little ratto. Just so angry. Cannot bring the chaos into the world, can it now? But there are others that are just like, oh dear God. The by Sigmar's light, please destroy. Like, I don't know if you wanted to look up, like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna ruin the Age of Sigmar. If you're not into, I'll let you figure it out on your own. You know, it's more fun that you look it up instead of me just telling you to go look up stuff. Because there are some things that I'm like, oh, there's this really good fan artist that she draws Age of Sigmar stuff, and she draws cute rat girls. But in Age of Sigmar, um, in that army, specifically, there are no female soldiers. It's pretty awful what happens to female soldiers. And I didn't know this when I bought them, but I've bought so many. I'm just gonna have to accept it and just move on. Just be like, no, no. In my army, it's not like that. So yeah, no. I mean, some things you just gotta be like, I already spent a lot of money on it. But I guess that's what makes them so awful. It makes them such good villains. Bam. Let's expand. Let us expand. Expand. But the Skaven, they're pretty fun. They're a horde army. And almost all of their models, as far as I've seen, come with a pack of rats. So you get little rats as your little fighting force. Get little rats coming towards the enemy. So, but I mean that does nothing to a dirigible dwarf, though. Dirigible dwarf is like, I guess I fly over it then. I don't know what they want me to do. Just hate that. S7, why do you have to be this way? Oh man, I talked to oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. It's so good. It's so good. But you'll need a bunch of D6s and you're going to have to do a little bit of math. Or you could do what a lot of people do, which I'm not surprised by, is that they love the models so much. There's lots of people that just don't even play the game. And they just buy the figures, paint the figures up, and just have a bunch of great figures. Because they are great pieces that you can just put on your mantle and be like, yes, I painted that. Yes, I put that together. Yes, I love as you can clearly tell, they have a lovely picture to them. I must say, I am more than a little bit excited by the painting process that I gave them. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, don't if that's what you want to do it. As hey, and if you want to get into the books because they're not half bad, you could get into the books as well. You know, and you're like, there's a game attached to it. What? There's a what is this? I've never heard of this. What are you talking about? But like, there's also Vermintide, which is a Left 4 Dead styled game for Warhammer. Vermintide 2. There's lots of games that are connected to Warhammer that are not directly Warhammer like. They're not D6 system filled with math that you have to literally bring out a spreadsheet to figure out if you actually hit something. All right. Which is the most annoying part about Warhammer. I do have to say, like, is very math heavy. So if you just want the figures, because the figures are cool, get the figures and you can use them for Dungeons and Dragons. You can use them for any type of like fantasy role play or anything like that. Or hell, just like, oh man, I need inspiration for drawing. Oh my god. And you could grab any of these figures, they're all good. And maybe you won't even play Dungeons and Dragons. What if you just play a role playing game that just is all role play? And you're in a fantasy setting, it'd be all good. So let me see. So yeah. Oh yeah. And then I'm gonna paint his. I'm gonna do this. Oh yeah. But I hope your lessons go well. I really do. I hope you learn something. I hope you actually gain some knowledge. I didn't know this was a Star Fox song, but cool. Mm. Oh yeah. Not a problem. You have a good lesson now and enjoy yourself and learn a lot. I really mean it. You gotta learn from me. Because I don't know a lot. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh